inside the Lloyd Noble Center. They're happy to have their number 6 Oklahoma Sooners back home, and they'll look to bounce back tonight after the loss to number 3 UCLA, taking on the Kansas City Roos. The SEC representing very well in the rankings, especially in the top 10. 4 of the top 6 teams are in from the SEC, and with Oklahoma in the number 6 spot. And thanks for being with us, everybody. I'm Crystal Blank alongside Steffi Sorensen. And Steffi, just the third game for both of these teams tonight. Both teams still figuring some stuff out at this point.
I think about Oklahoma is certainly very talented, but they're very young. 7 of the 11 players for the Sooners are underclassmen. So how do they respond to the adversity of the loss to UCLA and also the time travel, different time zones? You and I are feeling that today.
Yes.
And for Kansas City, I think they're a hungry team. They play very hard and have nothing to lose in this game.
You're right. And for the Sooners, this is a team, that tough loss, but they were right in the game the majority of the way thanks to the post-play of Beers.
Yeah, Reagan Beers is back and better than ever. 2 feet in the paint, that's over 65% from the 4. She's very efficient. She's got great footwork and just the strength and the size to just outwill her opponent. We saw that against UCLA and Lauren Betts, and they're going to rely on her heavily in this game.
Yeah, Beers, a little foul trouble early, had to sit for a bit, but 7 points, 14 rebounds, forced 7 turnovers to Lauren Betts, as you mentioned, and about every preseason award you can think of, Stephanie, she's up for it. And there you see the head coach of the Sooners in her 5th season, Jenny Baranchek, and what she has done, so impressive. Her first 4 seasons, how about 20-plus wins in every single year?
Motivated, hungry. She had a list for us of things that they could do better, but still number 6 in the country, trying to protect their home floor tonight.
Yeah, and you know, this is a tough stretch because the UCLA game ended up being Monday night instead of prior, as there's a quick start. That's something Chavez has been working on.
The freshman was put to task against the Bruins on the road, and what a great response to start this game, get the crowd involved as well.
Freshman out of Lubbock, Texas, and a top 3 prospect, a consensus 5-star recruit. A lot of pressure coming in for her, and there's a bank shot up and good. That's a good sign for the Roos. Gotta have some shots to fall if you're gonna try to pull an upset here, and there's a takeaway.
Now, Kansas City loves to turn you over. They like to, you know, force some turnovers and get disruptions, play in the passing lane, so Oklahoma can be a little turnover prone. They got to take care of the basketball today.
Chavez, a steal, but a beautiful save from Bennett down low, and it leads to extra points, the extra effort paying off.
Well, coming to this game, Imani Bennett had made 7 threes in just 2 games, so she's red hot from the 3-point line.
Defense getting back, and that's something you have to do if you're taking on Oklahoma. They have one of the fastest pace in the NCAA. They will push it up the floor at every opportunity, and now a player down for the Roos. Imani Bennett, the leading scorer for this team, such an important piece to what they do, and she's trying to fight through it. And there is the head coach, Deanna Jackson-Durrett. Kind of a homecoming for her, played right here. Was a Sooner for 4 years. Oh, you don't want to see this, Steffi. Trying to get a breath, and just not the way you want to start this one. It was a good start so far for Kansas City. They come in 1-1 out of the Summit League. So we can. Ooh. Wow, yeah. Just inadvertent contact coming down.
Yeah.
Sahara Williams, and she's so strong and powerful, and she came down. Caught the leg. I like the fact that she's walking right now, but hopefully we'll see her back out there.
Yeah, certainly a good sign for her walking off the bench right now, getting looked at by the trainer. And Imani Bennett has been phenomenal to start season. I mean, think about, they took on Kansas. She scores 29 points. I mean, she's their leading scorer, their engine. They need her on the floor, so we got to keep something to keep an eye on.
Coach told us today, she said everything really starts through her. And just wanted her to come out and relax. The team was a little tight at shoot-around today. The coach said, look, I just want them to come out, relax. They don't have the pressure on them that Oklahoma has.
Have you ever heard of someone growing 2 inches as a female in college?
Yeah.
She grew 2 inches over the summer. now about 6 foot tall. And I mean, her length makes it difficult to guard.
And they couldn't believe it. And said, now you got to work your shot. Now you can actually shoot above your defenders. Got to get used to that. Trotter, quick ball movement. And the high arcer and the swish. Jemiah Winter, who's come in, the grad student out of Illinois.
And don't blink if you're the Roos, because you got to get back in transition defense. That will be tested today. Trotter, the point guard, she has got to make sure she is back and stopping the ball, because pace, pace, pace has been an emphasis for the Sooners.
Layup good by Williams, her first bucket. 1 of 2 from the line, and there's the takeaway. Quick hands from Van. She was solid at UCLA on Monday night, and it's defense to offense for Oklahoma. Zaya Van, the sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma, played every single game last year. She scored in double figures 12 times. But I was really impressed with her game Monday at UCLA. She was kind of the kickstart for the team. Drive on the left side, that's Bannerman, no good. Oklahoma gonna push every opportunity, and the layup and the and one. Williams will go back to the free throw line.
I like the fact that Oklahoma's playing with good spacing, with good pace, turning their defense into offense, playing a solid man-to-man, and that was an emphasis of Jenny Baranczyk, at just guarding your man, playing in front, and you know, the second they get that ball, they're running in transition. Great find by Verhulst.
Yeah, I have a feeling she's going to try to go to her bench, go to the depth, and her depth this year is very young. We mentioned it earlier with 5 freshmen, just 3 starters back from their Sweet 16 team a season ago, but she wants to get them more experience. This might be the kind of game where she can go a little deeper. 7-0 run for the Sooners. Skip across outside. Harrell shot, no good. And there's Williams doing it all. Chavez, the hesitation, lays it up good.
And that's a big reason why Nation's #1 recruit coming in.
Yep.
We've seen the three-pointer and then a little hesitation, easy finish. I bet that's going to do wonders for her confidence.
No doubt. She's been struggling a bit with her shot, and they've just told her, you're a shooter, keep shooting. She's also an incredible ball handler. Down in the corner, gets it. We were watching her and shoot around, and wow, quick release and a beautiful shot. 5 points for Chavez. Bannerman. 1v1, 5 on the shot clock. And Colton right with her. Now on a whistle with just 2 ticks on the shot clock. So a break for the Roos. That'll be Bannerman, grad student out of Hampshire, Illinois. 19 starts last year for Kansas City. This is the first free throw attempt on the year. Transferred to Kansas City a couple of seasons ago out of Davidson. Gets a second.
Roos going to some zone. I have a feeling they're going to mix it up a little bit defensively, but a zone against Oklahoma is a little bit dangerous, trying to rebound and then guard the three-point line, but Trotter out in front.
Trotter protecting with her body, gets clipped from behind. A quick response, you're right. Got to mix up the defense, I think, for Kansas City. Tough matchups against Oklahoma.
And Trotter was certainly challenged in shoot-around today. Her coach really imploring into her of recognizing who's guarding you, when to push in transition, making good decisions, and more importantly, just take a breath. It was tense at shoot-around, and I think Coach Jackson Dredd managed to say, get a nap in?
Yes.
Naps are good. They're healthy.
Take a nap, refresh. There is Gianna Jackson-Jarrett, 4th season as the head coach. It's been a couple of seasons as an associate head at Texas. I mean, where she's been and the other coaches she's worked alongside, really an impressive resume. And
When your sister is best friends with Neil Ivey, you played for Sherry Cole, and you were mentored under Vic Schaefer. That's solid leadership.
Oh, yeah. That's some connections right there.
In her words, very fortunate.
Very fortunate. Speaking of connections, working it inside, that's Williams again. 8 points for her. Ooh, and a great sign, though. Here's Bennett, Imani Bennett, who went out earlier. And some contact, they're going to call her for the move. But she's a little bit slow moving out there. But she's trying to work through it, Steffi.
Yeah, it didn't help, a little contact on the screen. But great sign to see her out there. She'll take a breather. I think coach just wants to make sure that she's okay.
Picks up her second personal.
I mean, she's averaging 26, right? I know there's only been a few games, but where does the scoring come from the Roos? They have got to do something defensively.
Others are going to get an opportunity as the Sooners continue to work it inside. And that is Beatrice Culleton, senior, with the bucket. Yeah, a player averaging 26 points per game. How do you feel that? And it's going to have to start with some of their defense. They like to get a lot of their offense with what they do defensively. The air ball, and the defense was ready. The takeaway. It's Tiara Trotter with the steal. Inside, this is Funmi Amode to the floor. Another chance for the Roos. Trotter asking for the high screen, steps it back. Just misses, but hustle from Imani Bennett, the twin sister of Imani, and it leads to the bucket. Good hustle play, paying off.
Twin sis stepping up big while the other is on the bench.
But once again, looking ahead, Brooklyn Stewart gets fouled, and she's gonna go to the free throw line. We'll take the timeout, 5-point lead for the Sooners. Chavez, one of the best in the nation coming in, just a freshman with the bucket.
Conversation around her, and coming to this game, the percentages from the floor weren't great. 27% from the floor, 13% from the three-point line, and you're like, it's just a matter of time before the freshman, and it clicks, and she needs games to accumulate like this, where she sees the ball go through the hole early in the game. She gets her confidence going. I don't think there's any doubt, and for Sooner fans, for Jenny Baranczyk, that she's not going to find her, find her place within the offense. I know at times Peyton Verhulst, the senior, was like, hey, stop passing in practice. Shoot it. That's why we brought you here. So it's good to see her see the ball go through the hoop.
See, I would have loved my teammates to say that to me. I don't know about you, but that would have been a big plus. First free throw good. Brooklyn Stewart was fouled. Another freshman for the Sooners out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. 4-star recruit as well. What a recruit class for Jenny Baranczyk. But coach told us, she said, look, Chavez was a spot-up shooter, and this three-point arc's a little bit further out than it was. It's going to take her some time to really get the feel for her game. 4 minutes left, first quarter. It's been a fairly fast pace. Trotter on the drive, high off the backboard, no good. Beers back in, gets the rebound, and she'll bring it up. There you see.
A lot of upside with Brooklyn Stewart. As 6'3", she runs the floor really well. Dual sport athlete, played volleyball. You can see that with how springy she is out on the floor. Great reach.
Also got number 22, Keziah Lofton, in right now. Some full court pressure, and the Roos with the turnover. So forcing the turn that time. The Sooners kick up the defense. Just 3 seniors on this Oklahoma team. No transfers in, the 5 freshmen though. And now the turnover on this end. So the pressure D continues for the Roos.
Well, it's just so different, Chris, if you think about a lot of these teams we're covering, it's portal.
Yeah.
And to have a team with 5 freshmen almost feels like it's a blast from the past, where you're developing them young and getting them kind of raw and ready and molded into what you want to see from them. So definitely going to be a more challenging year, and she said, get back to me in February. My freshmen have got to be sophomores by then.
That's right. They've got to kick it up a notch by then. And, you know, for Coach, she said, look, I haven't had this young of a team in a very long time. So learning some things as well as far as, you know, coaching a young group like this compared to a veteran squad. Quick passing by the Roos. Trinity cheers into the game. Tries to scoop it up, no good, and the Sooners bring it down.
A good defense by Oklahoma. Again, a point of emphasis for them, just guarding one-on-one, keeping that player in front of you, protecting the rim. And you'll see that dribble drive offense from Kansas City. It's a staple of Vic Schaefer. And they miss the length and the height of Imani Bennett. As we mentioned, she's basically 6 feet tall. And
fifth turnover of the game for Oklahoma. Looking for the play call. Here's Alyssa Febrez, sophomore point guard out of Yonkers, New York. Bucket is good inside. Bumi Amode with the bucket. And we welcome you to Norman, Oklahoma, inside the Lloyd Noble Center. Krista Blanc alongside Steffi Sorensen. We've had a fast-paced first quarter between the number 6 Oklahoma Sooners and the Kansas City Roos. 2 minutes left in this one, and the Roos hanging right in there, Steffi.
Yeah, they're just gritty. They're tough. They play really hard. They just need a few buckets here or there, playing without Imani Bennett, who was injured earlier in this quarter, and a nice find by twin sister Alani Bennett.
Ilani's picking up some of the slack. Imani, who's averaging 26 points a game, and the sister Alani Bennett, already a couple buckets now, trying to make up the difference. Kelly Bannerman checking back in. Bennett Jr. out of Lee's Summit, Missouri. Brooklyn Stewart, the 6'3" freshman out of Colorado Springs. And this is a player that Coach Bronchek said, I think she's got so much promise. She's got such an upside. Looking forward to seeing her growth. She'll take a seat. Beatrice Colton back on.
Well, they started the season with Belmont, a very good team.
Yes.
Mid-major always makes the NCAA tournament. Then you go out to Sacramento to play UCLA. It's a late game. Schedules were changing, and if you think about it, they've got 4 upperclassmen, but those 7 underclassmen, 5 of which are freshmen, you know, they're going to take their lumps, but I think those early games are going to be really key for the Sooners. They've got a pretty tough non-conference.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, and it's a tough schedule right now, but it's going to pay off. Shot clock down to 2, and not recognizing. Good pressure D by the Sooners, and that's a tough one for the Roos as they hand it over. Coach Deanna Jackson, her first true head coaching stint here at the Division I level and taking on a program that's now in the Summit League. A big-time player here at Oklahoma. She was part of the Final Four team in 2002. And we're going to get a chance to talk to her then head coach, Sherry Cole. She's in the building. She's going to join us second quarter. It'll be nice to catch up with her and get some insight about Coach.
I want the tea. I want the tea on Coach. What was she like? she was very cool, calm, and collected today at shoot-around.
She was. She's really had an incredible experience. She talked about playing for Sherry Cole, so great to catch up with the former head coach. There's a cut inside. Good movement without the ball for Ilani Bennett. She gets fouled. Third-team foul on the Sooners. Just under a minute left, first quarter. Bennett, lefty layup, little finger roll, good, protecting it.
How good has Bennett been in this first quarter? Her 13th point, well above her average.
Oh, and a tough one. Chavez makes it, but it's waved off. Offensive foul called against the Sooners. And you're right, Ilani Bennett really stepping up, was averaging 11 points again, 8 rebounds, more of a rebounding guard. And with her sister Imani out, She has really stepped up. She's had their last 6 points and hanging right in it, down by just 3 this first quarter. Officials having a conversation. We'll see if they're going to take a look, and they will. Gina Cross, Teresa Stuck, and Tony Patillo are.
There's an offensive foul on 0 for Oklahoma.
So they called the offensive foul on Colton. We're going to take a look. There is Jenny Baranchak talking with her team, and yeah, she said this team's gonna just have to grow up as they go along. These games are gonna be really important, and they're gonna learn from this schedule, that's for certain.
Yeah, she said to us just about, at times they look like they could be really good. At times, hey, looks like we've got 5 freshmen. So
they're looking at 0, Beatrice Colton and White. They called the offensive foul on her. What do you think, Steffi?
I think that left arm, you know, did she displace her? I can't really tell right there.
Yeah, there you can see. I think that contact right before that. She's still taking a look.
Did I think it was anything excessive or extra?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, there was plays like that against UCLA that was just standard protocol.
Right.
It was a
very
game.
physical game, no doubt.
Jenny Baranchak definitely liked how that game was officiated.
Yeah. She said she would prefer that, to let them play for the most part. Obviously, you don't want it to get out of control, but you want them to be able to kind of set the pace, play their game. Oklahoma started 6 for 6, and since then, 2 of 5.
The 3-point basket is unsuccessful. The foul happened before the ball was released. Kansas City will receive the ball on the end line.
Coach trying to get the confirmation. So fans not happy. Steffi, you got the explanation?
Not happy, but just a common foul.
Yep.
Before the shot was released. Chavez, I mean, has she missed today? I mean, SEC Network's getting their first shot at the freshman. She was #1 coming into this season, #1 freshman, and she has been red hot to start this first quarter.
Yeah, perfect 3 for 3, 2 of 2 behind the arc. 5-second differential, shot clock, game clock. There's a foul away from the ball. And the Roos have come out playing very confidently, and that's something that Coach Jackson Durrett talked about. She said, look, our team's typically not too high, not too low, so I just want them to go out, play with confidence, and so they did it against Kansas, but she was just a little concerned today because they seemed a little bit tighter in their shoot-around.
They linger. That is what they do. That's what they did against Kansas. I think they had an opportunity to win the game. Fourth quarter got away from them, but just got a shot of Imani Bennett, who's not out on the floor right now. She had 29 points in that game.
Yeah.
Right now, 1-point game on the road without your best player.
Yep, free throw's good. I think you'll take that if you are the Roos. See if the Sooners can get something here, facing the zone again, and there's another takeaway. This is Harrell. And she won't get the shot up in time, but what a push at the end. Some momentum for the Roos going in to the second quarter. And the Roos finishing on a 10-4 run that quarter. We've got Sherry Cole, the winningest coach here at Oklahoma, with us next.
Do you remember that conversation, a meeting that you had with her?
Yes, I do.
I'm sure she said, I had a lot of meetings with Coach.
Yes.
She was so easy to motivate and coach, though. And the thing for her early in her career was just be aggressive, do what you can do. You have so many gifts. And she had the remarkable opportunity to come in and play, behind Stacey Davis.
Right.
She was a freshman.
It's a nice luxury.
Yeah. So she learned on the fly with some fantastic players.
I believe the phrase she used was she was pushed off of the cliff every day.
Yes.
Lovely.
Is that accurate?
Probably so.
What's it like to, take the, come out here to this arena and watch her coach, and her team's right in it?
Her team's been doing great. They're playing really, really hard, and she's doing such a great job. You can tell that she has a plan, and they know what that plan is, and they're trying to do what she wants them to do, and that's all you can ask.
Well, they certainly are. As they've started the second quarter, Bannerman with the last bucket gives them the first lead of the game, up by 2. Yeah, she had nothing but amazing things to say about playing for you. But she said she was kind of a quiet point guard, and you needed her to maybe be a little vocal, because she said, I got to sit back freshman year and play behind a lot of greats, as you mentioned.
She really did, and it was great for me to have her at that time, because she was a different sort of leader. And leaders don't just come in one size and one shape. There are lots of ways to do it. Dale's was very vocal. She talked all the time. She was talking in huddle. She was talking while she played. She was talking in the locker room. And that wasn't so much Dee's deal, but she was very much a leader.
Well, she described the conversation. I kind of referenced you pushing her off the cliff every day, challenging her, but making it known it's not about her. That to me, and she said, I couldn't ever really get that out of my head after she said it.
The thing was, she never made it about her in terms of being selfish, but she worried about what she was doing. Am I doing enough? Am I doing it right? What do I need to do better? And sometimes when you're thinking about yourself all the time, that's a different form of selfishness. And she was a great kid and wanted to be great for her team. And getting her to think about the people around her helped her be a better leader.
Verhulst, the pace continues to push, but that one won't go. It's an Oklahoma team, as Coach Bronchek says, it's really the youngest team that she's had in a very long time. Can you remember kind of going through situations where you had super young teams and then super experienced teams, and the difference in that?
Yeah, I don't think of this team as being young necessarily, just because I guess I'm thinking about Peyton and Reagan.
Yeah.
But obviously with a young point guard, it's certainly different. And I love the mixture. I think it's so great for a young, talented, highly recruited player like that to come in and play with a little bit of experience. I look at Sahara, and I think of her as being a veteran, too. She has such poise on the floor. And for Chavez to get to come in and be around those guys who've been through the battles and they understand what a rugged SEC conference slate is like, that's really going to help her down the road. It really is.
And no doubt. 4th in the SEC last year, making their way to the Sweet 16. Those 3 starters back that you just mentioned to be able to really help this group.
They have so many good pieces and parts. Jenny's done an unbelievable job, she and her staff, of recruiting. They have elite talent on the floor, and they have athletes that look different. They've got speed, they've got size, they've got strength, and all of those athletes have a skill set. It makes them so dangerous. Almost everybody on this squad can score in a multitude of ways, and it makes them so dangerous.
Versatility, no doubt. As Kansas City hanging on to the 1-point lead without their leading scorer right now. Went out with the injury earlier in the first quarter, but others have stepped up, and now an offensive foul called. It'll go the other way. We'll see if Oklahoma can get something going here. Coach Bronchek's been going to the bench quite a bit, though, and trying to get some experience and some play as we see Kaya Smith come in for the first time.
And she's trying to get some rotations. At this point, 3rd game of the season, who plays well with each other with all that, 5 freshmen, you've got underclassmen, but you've got your veteran group that Coach was just alluding to, players like Peyton Verhulst and Reagan and Williams.
I don't think a lot of people have played these guys in a zone. They shoot it so well, I'd be terrified to play them in the zone. And so it just felt like they were trying to get a rhythm with that a little bit. They haven't seen it quite as much.
Much needed bucket there. Verhulst connects her first points of the game, and a lead back to the Sooners.
Some players are shooters and some are makers. Verhulst is a maker.
Hey,
she just makes the shots when she's got to make them. I love watching her play.
It's really something.
To me, she does so many. She cuts well. She pushes in transition. She knows when to shoot, when to pass. She makes great reads offensively. I think she's got a lot of intangibles, too, with her leadership.
One of the things I love about her is she plays at the right speed for her. She doesn't try to play faster than she's capable of, which makes her a good decision maker.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about when you were here as a head coach. You know, just incredible success in Final Four appearances and so many years. The game's changing a little bit. The NCAA, just everything, rules, you name it, the NIL. Talk a little bit about when you were coaching and just the differences that you're seeing now.
Oh, it's very different. The landscape is very, very different. It almost feels like a completely different entity. Someone asked me earlier today about what the difference was in the game when I started and when I finished, and there were massive differences, but those types of differences have almost been steroidal in the last 5 years. So just the game is changing so rapidly in terms of team makeup and the way that you recruit, the way you have to put a team together. And I tell you what, I think it'll be really hard to build a team in this climate. I just think it's tough. The team is sacred and players are moving around all over the place, and you got to be really skilled with your relationships to be able to get a team to be cohesive and stick together.
It's almost a double-edged sword, right? Because the players have never been as visible as they are now. And given the climate, it is hard to assemble a roster, but now players are so recognizable.
There's so much pressure. When you're a college basketball player, there's so much pressure. And
tough team, you mentioned Oklahoma. That's how you're kicking off your season. They're a team, as you said, they always get through the tournament. They always have a good team, competitive team, and now going to face Tennessee.
Well, I think Oklahoma plays fast. Tennessee plays extra fast, and they have been looking really good. I know they lost a heartbreaker just a few days ago. Give them some time.
The pace picked up before the timeout, the 8-0 run for the Sooners, and they were able to regain the lead. The city hanging right in there.
You have to give them credit, though, because obviously just undermatched in terms of size. No one really taller than 6'1", and Reagan Beers at 6'4". She's got 1 point. And they've done a good job of just neutralizing her. They played the passing lanes. They've been switching it up defensively, just keeping Oklahoma a little bit off balance.
Yeah, great point. 10 points for Chavez. She leads the way for Oklahoma, and it's been more of a balanced attack throughout. They have forced others to beat them so far. So they're switching the shot clock, 4.9, 5:50 left, second quarter. Both Bennett sisters with 2 fouls apiece. Imani went out that first quarter as that one off the mark for Fedez.
We had such a great conversation with Sherry Cole. What was your takeaway from that?
You know, I think she's very relaxed now that she's not coaching. There's a lot of pressure.
Mode.
She's in grandma mode. She's built something that I know she's got to be just incredibly proud of, and really happy to be a fan now with this organization, this program that she built over 25 years.
Yeah, I think, you know, she's coached so many great players that when Diana Jackson-Durrett told us the story about that meeting and how it changed the course of her life, how big of an impact that had on her. And for Sherry Cole, she might have had those weekly, you know, with all those great players.
Absolutely. And the change of a different season, which is something that Coach Baranchuk's seeing now this year too, with a little less experience in the depth. But hey, how about that look inside? That was Smith finding her teammate down low. Stewart with the finish. Stewart's been good, 6 points.
Well, she's very vocal, and that's very rare for a freshman. She talks a lot defensively, and coaches are going to love that. But Chavez, UCLA went at her defensively. That is going to be something she's going to have to work on. I think points will come, but she's going to have to buckle down defensively.
Much needed bucket by the Roos. It was Jemiah Winter connecting, and now some fresh legs coming on for Kansas City. They've been very confident coming in, tied to finish 5th in the Summit League, and last year finishing 6th. They've been in the WAC for many years and then shifted back to the Summit League. They've gone a bit cold. They've missed their last 8 in a row before that last make, and then an offensive foul call on Oklahoma.
Well, miscommunication between Stewart and Chavez. Again, that's 2 freshmen up there, and you call the Aces games, and I listen to Becky Hammond a lot, and you know, she's not a big fan of subbing when players make mistakes.
Yeah.
Let them play through mistakes, and that's what a lot of these freshmen will have to, because this roster's 11 deep.
Yeah, not a lot of depth, and the depth is very young. You're right. Going to have to grow as they learn out on the floor. On the drive, that one won't go for Amoda. Shot clock down to 3, didn't catch iron, got to recognize, and Trotter gets the shot up, just misses. And Chavez can't hang on down low, and a break for Kansas City. Imani Bennett, the leading scorer for Kansas City, averaging 26 points per game, went out earlier in the first quarter with a leg injury of some sort, and she tried to go back in. Steffi couldn't quite get there, and coach took her out. I mean, you don't want to take any chances. This is very early in the season.
Yeah.
I certainly hope she'll be okay and can make her way back out soon.
Kansas City doing a great job on the glass and out-rebounding the Sooners, and that was something that Oklahoma struggled with against UCLA. It's a point of emphasis at shooter on today. We've got to rebound on both ends of the floor.
Shot clock down again, the drive, the shot won't go. Good D by Oklahoma. Can they get something out of it? Chavez hit one earlier there, hits another. Leah Chavez adds to her totals, her third 3 of the game. Up by 8. Imani Bennett really stepped up after Imani went out. Picked up her second personal, had to sit for the majority of this quarter. She's back in. Chavez, no hesitation. She's going to go to the line. Just quick.
So skilled. She can score anywhere, and she's known for her pull-up, but once she sets her feet, she can nail it from the three-point line. And I'm not going off those numbers, because it was only a matter of time before the freshmen just start settling it in again. And when you have your teammates telling you, hey, shoot the ball, that's a good feeling, right?
Yep, it sure
that
is.
should give you confidence.
They want her to shoot. And coach said she just has such high praise for her. Said she's very coachable. She's a very humble player. You gotta love that. You know, whatever. She's like, I can coach her. I can tell her, hey, do this, do that. And she doesn't take it personally. It's like, okay, I'll get it done. That's the first free throw. And the longest lead of the game for the Sooners. Gets them both. Lisa Febres brings it up. Kansas City. Guarded by Zaya Van.
She is all over her, too.
Sure is.
Great defender for Oklahoma.
And now the switch. Sahara Williams steps up. Bennett drives it left. Wow, line drive, lefty layup, good.
So tough. She is so fun to watch, and stepping up, I mean, huge with her sister on the bench.
She certainly is. 17 points this first half for Ilani Bennett. Long rebound. And into the hands of Amoda. 2.5 left, first half. It's been close. Who's hanging right in this one? An offensive foul call. Bennett was trying to step up in front of the defender and gets called.
Yeah, you could see Coach Jackson Durrett just frustrated in that moment because of costly foul. She's been the hot hand for the Roos. And now without each twin sister out, who's going to step up and score?
Coach talking with her, but 7 of 7 shooting. Others will have to step up, switching up the defense quite a bit. And there's a pretty shot right there. Emma Tolan, the freshman from Ireland. Her parents are here in the U.S. First time watching her here at Oklahoma. It's pretty special.
It's awesome. And to get in the game, to hit a three, that's the gamble and the risk you take by throwing a zone at Oklahoma, because they can't shoot the ball from the three-point line so well. And now Reagan Beers back in the game. That's your rim protector and your efficient scorer down low.
Yeah, you know, they're the kind of team you got to pick your poison. That's what Coach Cole said. I don't think people have really thrown a zone at them very often as of late. As Beers posting up strong, lefty layup, good. Tough to stop her once she gets to that point.
She's got 2 feet in that arc. It's over.
First field goal of the game. They've gotten to the free throw line. Now 3 points for Beers. Fabrez leaving, looking for help. They got away with the travel, but stepping around, that's Kelby Bannerman with the bucket. Grad student. Under a minute left, first half.
Great pass.
Oh, yeah. Putting the hands up. Peyton Verhulst saw the opening, and Beers found her.
So underrated. She does such a good job of cutting. It's simple basketball, but she makes herself available, and she has teammates that can find her, and a nice look by Reagan Beers.
And 7 points for Verhulst. Trying to stick with Bannerman, who just hit one earlier. Shot clock winding down. The drive off the mark for Amota. And the Sooners will get the final chance this half to try to extend the lead even more. Van gonna keep it in her hands, gets the shot, gets fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. Zaya Van, just a sophomore, played every single game last year though, gained a lot of experience. Her sister Skylar was here a season ago and now playing over in Italy.
Hey, Skylar, I see you. Obviously a talented family, and, you know, Zaya Fan, just last year, there was some talent in front of her, but would make the most of her moments when she got in there. Now, obviously, a huge contributor for the Sooners lineup.
Yeah, really stood out, especially in the UCLA game, to me, especially on her rebounding. At 10 rebounds, 5 of them offensive rebounds. She's really scrappy, really aggressive at both ends. Off the mark on that one. Batted around. Second chance. And that'll do it. First half in the books. And Oklahoma found themselves down earlier in this quarter, but a big run for them as you see the leading scorers on both sides. What's kind of stood out to you, Steffi?
I think Kansas City's sticking pretty close to Oklahoma, but ultimately too much Chavez. Great balance from Oklahoma kind of created this lead going into the half.
Bruce hanging right in there, though. We'll take the break as well. It's Cindy Alyssa Lang in the studio. Oklahoma, number 6. Oklahoma Sooners with their largest lead of the game here at halftime. They were able to make a push late and had a big second quarter. Glad you could be with us. Kristen Blank alongside Steffi Sorensen. And rebounding, really, the Roos hanging in there. They had a lead at one time early on, especially without their leading scorer, Imani Bennett. But nonetheless, Oklahoma, was good to see them get some defense to create some offense.
Yeah, I mean, 23 points in that second quarter. 8 different players for the Sooners have scored, just 5 for Kansas City. Notably, Imani Bennett, the team's leading scorer, who was absent for most of the game. Her sister held it down, though, 14 points. Definitely stepped up her game to keep Kansas City in this thing, but I think it's just a little bit too much of balance. But you have to credit Kansas City because they did have 6 offensive rebounds. But Leah Chavez, wow, the freshman came out and got things rolling here in Norman, Oklahoma. From the 3-point line, from inside the paint, a little crafty around the rim. She was doing everything, and she struggled a little bit to shoot in the first 2 games of this season. So far tonight, 4 for 5 from the floor, 15 points. This is the type of game you put together 3 or 4 of these in the non-conference. You're rolling the conference play. You got your confidence up.
Yeah, it's exactly what she needed running the point now as third quarter's underway. Whistle underneath. Bannerman, the task for the Roos, trying to slow down Reagan Beers. I'd say for the most part, Beers was fairly quiet as far as scoring goes, but I also think that Coach Baranchuk was going pretty deep in her bench. She had a rotation going quite a bit, bringing her in and out. Only 11 minutes for her in the first half. Quick pass inside, no hesitation, and wow, deep in the paint, Beers with the bucket.
She's so good at sealing a defender who gets behind her. She can clear out space.
I'm sure they talked about maybe getting into her hands just a little bit more. And you know they were talking about rebounding. It's something that Coach talked with us about at shoot-around. Hey, Sunday afternoons, women's volleyball doubleheader. It's starting in Knoxville when number 19 Tennessee hosts Oklahoma at 1 o'clock Eastern. That's followed by Vandy and Mississippi State in Starkville. Both are right here on the SEC Network, as well as all the new ESPN apps. Georgia, earlier, prior to ours, big win for them over LSU. It was close in the fourth set. And there's a takeaway by Williams. Oh, and then she turns it right back over. Couldn't quite get the ball in her hands with double dribble, and she's smiling about it, saying, wow, we almost had it. I like Williams. She's a great leader in so many ways. Zahara Williams, the junior, out of Waterloo, Iowa. And really, it's just super competitive. That's what Coach Baranchek talked with us about as far as Williams' game goes. And she's a Cheryl Miller shooting forward, preseason watch list member. Chavez out on Trotter. Kick out and another one. That's good for Jemiah Winter. She came in the first half, hit one just like that. Give her another.
Well, she's on the floor to shoot it, so great execution offensively by the Roos.
Trying to double team Beers inside. At least Chavez outside by herself. She's got the stroke going here tonight. 18 for Chavez. 4 of 5 behind the arc. Season high for her. 11 at UCLA on Monday. Quick crossover. Trotter going up against multiple defenders and a whistle and a foul as she gets knocked to the floor.
Well, to your point about Williams, she is beast mode activated. You know, I have never seen her lose a jump ball. I mean, even if they tie it up, she's coming away with it. She gets charged with the foul here, but I think she just, again, the tangibles of her and Verhulst, the physicality, she sets the tone for them. I think from a defensive side of the floor, the intensity that she plays with, she's just shot out of a cannon when she's out there, and you need that on this type of team and the tempo with which they play.
Had a career high 14 rebounds in their first game of the season against Belmont. As that one goes for Trotter from the line. She started every single game Williams has in her career. And yeah, she makes her presence known. Wow, right there. Thought she had the assist. Beers has it knocked away. It'll stay with the Sooners. Good look, high to low.
Yeah, they love their high-low action, especially that 4-player having such a high IQ. Williams knows when to give it up. She's got a great target in Beers.
Sure does, because Bannerman's having a tough time sticking with her right now on the interior. There's Bannerman, gets it back. Smaller defender will take it in. And knocked out a play. It'll stay with the Roos. Beatrice Colleton back on. Senior from Overland Park, Kansas, and Beers will get a breather. And I think a big plus for Jenny Baranchek, again, we talked about they're going to be playing about every other day now this week into next week, and they're going to need some fresh legs, so she's trying to keep a big rotation going right now when she can. Roos haven't really let her do that much until late. Oh, nothing but net there. Bannerman with the bucket.
No hesitation either, and that was quite a difference that we saw in shoot-around as players being timid and being tense, and it's a nice, confident-looking three.
It sure was. Her first made 3 of the season. Make that the second. She's 2 of 3 behind the arc. Got them both here tonight. She's going to try another one. This one off the mark. Rebound down to Williams. Colleton, Bannerman, sputs it away. Crowd wanted a foul call. They don't get it, but it'll stay with the Sooners. 7:02 left here in this third quarter. And we'll take the timeout from Norman, Oklahoma. We've got a good one going here between the Sooners and the Roos. back in Oklahoma. Number 6 Oklahoma with the 11-point lead over Kansas City. Reagan Beers has been able to rest some Monday night at UCLA. This was a scary play, Steffi.
Yeah, Sooner Nation was holding their breath. That collision walks off the floor, which was a great sign.
Yes. Good to see her, and came back into the game as well at UCLA, and now able to get some rest. You know, you certainly hope everything's fine, and it appears that she is. And,
being able to play in some stretches and been able to provide some rest, given, man, the travel of getting out all the way to the West Coast, the quick turnaround. I think we underestimate what traveling does to the body, and just, you know, holding fluids and all that. I'm not going to get into all that, but resting is important.
It certainly is. And they know they've got a tough stretch coming up at Northern Alabama. That's an early start with that one. Western Carolina. They're going to head over to Florida eventually, and they've got a tournament there in Fort Myers with some tough competition. So not every other day here for this week. It's going to be a test. Trotter on the drive. The backboard no good, and trying to hang on, and finally gets it. That was Culleton.
Trotter's been quiet, 0 for 8 from the floor, and she's a double-digit scorer for Kansas City, and they really need not only just her leadership, but the command of the offense without their leading scorer.
Yeah, she's definitely a scoring point guard, and to have a tough scoring night tonight is not good timing. Whistle on a foul, gonna go against the Roos. It's against Bannerman. That's her third. Oh, beautiful look inside off the inbound. Culleton with the bucket. 4 points for her. Stops a scoring drought by the Sooners. For their last 5 prior to that make. And part of the struggles, I'm sure, for Trotter is that Zaya Van's been guarding her, and I mean up on her, guarding her almost this entire game.
She's so quick, and she's got some great length and instincts. She can pick up some fouls and put herself in some positions, but she's definitely an aggressive defender.
She's got to get called for that one. Saw Oklahoma working on some matchup zones and a variety of different looks defensively for them as well. Seen them do that some this season as well as last year.
A lot more coaching. We've spent about 20 minutes, and there's just a lot of communication when you're, it's not your basic zone from high school. We're talking about a very young team, a lot of communication required.
Yeah, definitely different from what these young players, especially the freshmen coming in, there's a lot more explanations needed from the coaches. Beers will come back on. Three fouls on Culleton as Trotter will go to the line. Grad student out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. She transferred this past season from Texas Rio Grande Valley. Started every single game for them. This is the second for 2 for Trotter. 5 of her points from the line. Chavez cuts one way, goes the other, and just too much on the shot. Hasn't missed much tonight, though. She's having a game, 18 points. 5 of 7 shooting for Chavez.
And I have to say, amazing shoes.
They really are. He stood out right when we walked in.
Pink.
Caught our attention.
I'm sorry, but I love them. I love them. I need them.
I know. I'll have to see what size she wears. She might be willing to help you out. She may have to keep wearing them the way she's playing tonight, though, Steffi. You may not get that pair.
I'm not taking those off. I'm wearing them every game.
That's right.
Players are superstitious now.
Yeah.
You know, some that will change shoes at the half.
Yep.
Were you superstitious?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. How about you?
Of course. We all have our things.
We all have our things.
No shame.
And I definitely did with that. Foul called on Keziah Lofton. It puts Tiara Trotter to the stripe. Coming in 4 of 6 from the line and misses that first one. Gets the second. She'll get a breather. It's the Febres Buchanan, sophomore point guard. Beers, she's got range. That one won't go into the hands of Kansas City.
I have to give Kansas City some credit at just really controlling the paint, because a lot of offense that Oklahoma can produce is cutting and spacing and really spreading you out and getting basket cuts, and Kansas City hasn't made that easy today.
Well, they certainly haven't. You're right about that. And it's something that, you know, Coach Jackson Durrett, she said, look, we're going to have to pack it in a little bit in the paint. We're going to have to mix up the defenses, and I think they've done an exceptional job.
Especially being shorthanded.
Yes.
Without their leading scorer.
Yep. Bennett, she went out with the leg injury in the first quarter. It was early in the first quarter as well. As Chavez rattles another one down.
A little hat tip from her head coach.
She's got to be happy about her having this game, just wanting her to relax and be able to play. Sometimes it's all it takes is a game like this. Pass cross court, down in the right corner. That one won't go. Adaramoye off the mark. Beers sticks with it. Too much size and strength on the interior.
And a good opportunity. We see Chavez in transition, lobbing it up to Reagan Beers, and that's why these players want to play with her.
Yeah.
She can find you.
And the great hands inside, and a timeout called by Kansas City.
Yeah, Leah Chavez just absolutely on fire tonight. Buries the three here, building a lead in Norman, Oklahoma.
This time of year, and these two have got it going on here for number 6 Oklahoma. Beers on the interior, Chavez on the outside. That's a great combo, Steffi.
Yeah, you think about them just catching fire from the three-point line. Coming into this game, they had only been shooting around 30% from the three-point. Just uncharacteristic for Oklahoma, and it's just they just needed to get a game like this where you just can start to feel good. Little inside out, Chavez to Beers. That's going to be a great 1-2 combo as they continue to get reps together.
They came into this game 7 of 39 behind the arc. I know only 2 games into this game, but 7 of 12 tonight.
Yeah.
So they've already hit the total that they had over 2 games. And as you said, uncharacteristic, and now they have the ability to have such an inside-outside presence. Great combo. There's a quick release, and Verhulst, boy, she is so good. Just quick, shoot, and turn it around, and ready to go. 10 points for her. Layla Hatcher's checked in, 3 in gold. First minutes for her in this one. A foul called against the Sooners.
Another offensive rebound for Kansas City, and that's just hustle and grit and toughness and a signature of Deanna Jackson Durrett and her teams. And when we talked to her today just about, you know, get the DNA of your team very quickly is every play they're going to hustle, they're going to fight, they're going to scrap. And they have hung tough with Oklahoma, top 10 team in the country on the road.
They sure have. 7 offensive rebounds compared to 4 for Oklahoma. And really, they've just been scrappy. They have looked very confident. Jumoke Adaramoye at the free throw line, the grad student. She's from Nigeria, originally transferred from St. Leo this year. She was at Murray State a couple seasons ago. She'll take a seat. One of the things Coach Jackson Durrett said about this game, said this team is going to learn from games like this, and it's really important for this team before they head into Summit League play. It's going to help them overall, facing a Kansas, facing a ranked Oklahoma team. But the play, it's going to stay with the Roos. A lot of growth still to go, even though there's experience for her team. Just 2 freshmen with this group. 8 players, seniors or grad students total. But still, new players with 6 transfers, trying to learn her system and what she wants. Trotter gets it back. High archer swish, much needed field goal for Trotter. Her first one of the game. Oh, and back at you, says Chavez. There's the roster breakdown for Kansas City. Not as much youth as you see for Oklahoma, but wow. Chavez doesn't play like a first-year player.
Fans are loving it, to say that they are like, okay, this is what we expected to see.
That's right. And the whistle again. Going against the Sooners. Second on Williams. When you think about Oklahoma, 7 of their 11 players, they're either freshmen or sophomores. Just some talented youth. But as Coach Coles told us in the second quarter when she was with us, though, when you've got those 3 starters back, the core group of a Williams to go along with Beers and Verhulst, it's a nice combination.
Very player-led.
Yes.
And they lead by example. And terrific leadership by Williams and Verhulst and Beers. That's one thing that really plagued Oklahoma last year. I felt like they couldn't get over the hump because they had so many turnovers. I believe they averaged almost 19, which was, problematic, especially as you got into the NCAA tournament. So far today, I believe they have 12. They did a good job against UCLA taking care of the basketball. They keep it to 15 or less. Given the pace, there's going to be some turnovers.
Yeah, you're right. That was something that was definitely an Achilles. Because they did so many great things. They led the nation in assists per game. They averaged almost 85 points per game, which was a program record last year. But turnovers definitely were a big issue. We just saw some pressure by Zaire Harrell forcing another one, but then Oklahoma able to get the foul call to go their way. They'll go to the line. Foul on Bannerman, that's her 4th. Bannerman will take a seat.
Oklahoma in transition is just so fun to watch, and especially the freshman, that little hook pass to find her senior Williams.
Good job.
She's a junior. We're finally out of the COVID year.
Yes,
so.
we are. Yeah, it took a little bit, but you're starting to see some true freshmen. As Williams gets the free throws. Minute left, 3rd quarter. 16-point lead for the Sooners. Smith, the sophomore, with the foul on Trotter. Trotter's going to go back to the free throw line.
Starting to see her find her groove here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
They needed it, and she was challenged today, and she's starting to rise to the occasion, being aggressive and looking for her shot.
You just saw her make her first field goal late in this quarter, but she's not given up on scoring. She's been aggressive to get herself to the free throw line. And I like that about a player that says, okay, the shot's not going, but I'm going to find a way somehow, especially without the leading scorer, Imani Bennett. Pretty much the majority of this game going out with a leg injury in the 1st quarter. Just unfortunate to not see her out there. And now takeaway. Patience by Trotter, waiting for the screens, and there's a nice look inside. Amoda with the bucket.
I mean, good communication by Oklahoma defensively, but better execution by Kansas City on offense. That's going to be a 2.
Chavez loses the defender.
Like, I don't think she's going to miss the rest of the game, you know?
You just have that feeling. This one is winding down, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. Oklahoma 4 for their last 5 makes. Chavez now at 27.
The freshman showing out and showing up tonight. 27.
Woo!
You've got Reagan Beers, All-American. You're surrounded by talent, lots of expectations, and I'm excited to see what they can do this year. I know Jenny Bronchek would love to have UCLA again, because I think if they shoot better, they're right in that game. They could have won that game, and they were in it. She's done a fantastic job. I love talking to her. She's very honest, very authentic. I'll tell you like it is.
Well, and I think that says a lot about why players want to come play for her here and with this group, and it's the style of play that she has, the type of players that she puts together, and I think that's exactly why Chavez chose to go to Oklahoma. She wanted to be a part of it, and that's a big plus. So lose that one out of bounds. Pressure has been really impressive though from Kansas City. They are going to cause some problems in the Summit League this year, that's for certain. They've still got a couple of really tough non-conference places. They got to go to Arkansas as well as Missouri. Those will not be easy on the road. And they'll have a few others that they're going to try to capitalize on before that. UTEP, Austin Peay. Beers out on Trotter. Shot clock's down to 3, and Trotter knows it. Oh, and a tough one right there. The foul call on Zaya Van as that clock was ticking down. Tough timing.
And Zaya Van jumps out here, and it's not needed. And that's some of those times, those fouls that she picks up, that when you're playing at UCLA, when you're playing a different, you've got to be smarter than that and understand, I need to stay on the floor, so I've got to make sure I'm using my fouls wisely. At that point, you don't need to foul in that situation. Too far away from the basket.
Good point. And a body bump as Ilani Bennett was making the drive. Beers makes the contact. That'll be her second. Ilani Bennett, the junior. Nicole Thomas comes in. Just her second game of the season. Junior from Memphis, Tennessee.
Ilani Bennett's been fantastic today, and certainly doesn't shy away from contact. I love that she has career aspirations to be a doctor with a specialty in sports med or women's health. We need more of that.
No doubt. 24 starts for her last year.
She hits the books as hard as she hits the glass.
She does.
She's going to be a great doctor.
No doubt. She and her sister both trying to go into the medical field. I love it. As Harold not agreeing with that one, but she gets whistled for the personal. Second on Harold. Williams gives it back to Chavez. You can't forget about the inbounder. Oh, she makes him pay.
Williams was waiting. She threw that ball back to her freshie. Like I said, I don't know if she's gonna miss. I don't know if she...
I mean, you already said she wasn't.
A good bet.
So, yeah. 7 of 8. Chavez behind the arc. Perfect from the free throw line. 4 for 4, and she's 9 of 11 from the floor overall. As Bennett just couldn't quite get the angle. Good defense by the Sooners. Foul going to be called against Nicole Thomas. Boy, Aaliyah Chavez, we talked about her struggles in the first couple of games on the year. So you see the numbers, her first 2 games compared to tonight. Much improved.
It's going to boost the percentages.
Yep.
Let's say that. And some of that is just managing the expectations. Look, I'm on the top 10 team. I'm the number 1 recruit. You know, there's just the challenges of just blocking out the noise and just going out there and playing. And it's been fun to watch her do that tonight.
Certainly
She
has.
looks like she's having fun tonight.
Yes.
That's what it's really all about.
Yep. And you want that for her. Van's going to take a seat, having a chat with Coach. Zaya Lofton back into the game. Freshman from Bethany, Oklahoma. Star recruit. Multiple screens, trying to get a little space for Trotter. Spears, I think, got a piece of that, but cleaning it up inside. Good look from Bennett. They never gave up on the play.
She just hunts those rebounds. And there was a mismatch, which led to that offensive rebound.
Tough catch for Williams, but she does it, and they're going to call the block. As Lofton on the drive. They say Amoda was moving. Her second, team's third.
The SEC has produced some really good freshmen. You think about Michaela Blaze last year, 50-point games. I mean, unbelievable. And she's been playing great as a sophomore. The numbers that Aaliyah Chavez right now, putting up 29 points, her third game of the season. Excited to see what she's going to do this year.
No doubt about it. There's a lot of growth still to go, obviously, for this team, but Coach really has faith in this group and believes that come January, February, they're going to be up a whole level of play. Or she said they better be. I think that's what she said. Inside to Bennett. Help D trying to come over. Of Chavez from behind. Oh, and the miss for Harrell. But the Roos just not giving up. I love their effort on the O-boards.
Reflection of their coach, no doubt.
Yep.
Doesn't quit on any play. You know, just Oklahoma's very talented. And top 10 team playing at home. Wanting to get back on track, play well, but the effort and the intensity has been there for the Roos.
It certainly has.
Nice block by the freshman.
Came in from behind. Her vision is something that Coach Baranczyk said is just incredible. As much as you think she's just this spectacular shooter, she's an even more incredible passer. And I wasn't going to say anything, but she missed one more. That's all right. She's still having an incredible night. 29 points. Season high, career high for this freshman.
I think for me, it's the efficiency, 9 for 12 from the floor. You know, she can be a high volume shooter. She's taking really good shots in rhythm. Nice basket cut by Verholst.
Little give and go. Verholst gets fouled. 10 points for her, 6 rebounds, a couple of assists. She does a little bit of everything.
This is Verholst's bread and butter. If you don't go with her when she cuts, she's going to get behind you and get a layup. She does that so well because she's logged some serious minutes in the system of reading, reacting. Plays with such a high IQ.
Second in the SEC last year with 83 made threes. Richard Sr. is a second-team All-SEC member.
1 of 6. Nice conversation with her. Sister plays at Middle Tennessee State, just loves the game. Mom played at Duke. You said we were breeding basketball players.
Complete basketball family, no doubt. Bannerman back on. Big wrap on the right shoulder. I noticed that earlier in the game. She's got 4 personals. Skip across to Harrell. That one off the iron. Chavez a push. Oh, another. Just give and go. Verholst deceptively quick.
You've got to respect the range that she has, especially in transition. She'll pull up from wherever, but man, if you don't stick right to her when she cuts, she's getting easy twos all day.
Yeah, she doesn't just stand around and watch.
No.
She's doing something at all times. They're trying to lose her right now. Shot clock down to 3. Bannerman recognizing, scoops it up with the left hand on the interior and gets it. She's in double figures now with 11.
She's going to be able to take some positives away from this game. You take a look at that front court of Oklahoma, what she's been able to do against that.
Chavez can't get that one to drop. Lost the defense for a second. She's connected on 7 threes. The school record for a freshman, Taylor Robertson, was 8, so close to tying it. Big shot from Winter won't go. Long rebound. Bannerman inside, can't get it. Good effort though, and again another offensive rebound, but not able to capitalize. Tolan on the drive, a lot of control. No whistle, they play on. Just a little over 4 minutes left in the game. Verholtz squares it up off the front of the iron, following up and good. Keziah Lofton with the extra effort. Timeout called by the Roos. Try to regroup, but Verholtz and the give and go has been working on both sides of the lane. Oklahoma up 78-59. Electric this year to start. You know who else is electric? It's the inside-outside game of Oklahoma.
Well, Peyton Verholtz has emerged in the second half, and she's just that classic player. She is a basketball player.
Yep.
One of the most underrated, I think, in this conference. And this conference is loaded with talent. I mean, Peyton Verholtz, as much as we're talking about Reagan Beers and Leah Chavez, it's like she gets lost amongst that, but she is, I wish there was a stat, Krista, cannot take off the floor. She checks that box. You don't want to bring her off the floor. You need her out there at any given moment of the game because she can do anything for you that you ask of her. And Williams, I would put her in that same box.
Right in there. I'm with, the Verholtz at UCLA on Monday, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 4 steals. You said it, she does everything. She's just a hustle player that, if the shot's not going, she'll do something else for you. But at the other end, another bucket on the interior for the Sooners. Stewart add to her totals. It's been a balanced attack, but it just feels like Chavez with 29 has kind of dominated, especially behind the arc with 7 made threes. Foul on Tolan. Second for her. 3:20 left. A lot of positives for both teams to take, and some things that they know they need to work on, obviously, and to look at before their next opponents.
Oh, Kansas City's going to learn about themselves in this game playing without their best player.
Yes.
That's adversity, and we've seen several players step up. We saw fight, we saw hustle and grit, and those are some positives that they didn't anticipate at shoot around what it was going to look like. Well, it looked completely different. So now when you don't have Amani Bennett, that's 25 points. So what are we going to do? How are we going to stay in this game? And they got off there on the offensive glass. They will attack and get some penetration. They've guarded the gaps pretty well on defense. And that'll go a long way for them as they head into December, into conference play, and they can rely on some of that experience.
Well, you're right. And not only do they lose her scoring, but she's a vocal leader for them on the floor. She's a starter that barely leaves the floor for them. And when you lose somebody that quickly, you could possibly just hang your head and think, oh, wow, now we don't have a chance. They did not do that. And I love the effort and the hustle and the confidence by Kansas City. Good drive, but off the mark for Harrell. Sticks with it, and she gets fouled and will go to the line. There's no give up in this group. Foul on Lofton, her second. Zaire Harrell, the senior from St. Louis. 12 starts last year. All of her numbers have improved every single year playing at Kansas City. Big Asia Wilson fan. That's her sports hero. It's a good pick.
You're a big Asia Wilson fan?
I'm a big Asia Wilson fan too.
Get to see her up close and personal. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. She's something else. She's had a pretty incredible year. He throws good. Look who's out running. And a push from behind. It's going to put Brooklyn Stewart to the line. Bannerman picks up her 5th personal, so that's going to do it for her. I think she had a solid game in a lot of ways. 11 points, 5 rebounds, and a tough task inside to try to slow down this big presence by the Sooners.
She was getting some shots up before the game and extra shots and that pick and pop, and it sounded like, this is a big game for them. They get to come to where their coach played in a nice arena. There's banners everywhere, and you want to represent, you want to play really well, and I think all things considered, they've done that.
Yeah. Defensively, they were working on trying to pick up. They knew they couldn't have full court pressure for the most part, but they knew they could put some pressure at about the midcourt area, and I think they did that the majority of this game. And some good things, that's for certain. Yeah, Coach says the pressure's on them, not us. She goes, we can play our way, and I think they've done a lot of that tonight. Just under 2 minutes left. Oklahoma will try to finish this off and get win number 2 on the season. High-low, that one, the angle off the mark. Dafa Sissoko into the game for the first time, first game of the season. 26 in white, 6'4" freshman from Paris, France. And the takeaway, just reaching in, Lofton. Out running, lefty layup, good. Defense to offense, Keziah Lofton with the bucket.
These are those valuable reps and minutes of real-time play that Jenny Baranczyk wants the newcomers to experience, getting steals, getting action, getting out in transition, and knowing where you need to be and executing the game plan.
Yeah, you can't emulate it really in practice. You've got to have the real-time experience and more defense, creating opportunities. It started with Tolan and finishes at the other end. Lofton again out running.
Got a nice frame too. Good speed, great defender.
She does. And a miscue on the pass and the turnover. Send it the other direction.
It's just the freshmen come in like ready. Like they've already been lifting, they're strong. They've got coaches. I mean, you're looking at Lofton, 22 and white, and she does not look like a freshman.
No, she does not. And the underclassmen for Oklahoma tonight, 51 points. The upper class, just 36, so getting it done. Thomas drives it up, gets the shot off, and she's going to go to the free throw line. Junior out of Memphis, Tennessee, and transferred a couple seasons ago from Memphis. Fourth personal on Lofton. 35 seconds left in this one. Kansas City will head to Lindenwood, and then they'll have a few games at home before they face Arkansas and Missouri on the road. This is the second meeting between these two teams, and the first one was way back in 1984, right here in Norman, and the Sooners got the win. Long shot off the mark by Lofton, but cleaning it up. That was Stewart. Right place, right time. This one almost finished. Not sure the Roos will even try a shot. Doesn't appear they will. Great effort by them, but Oklahoma finishes on a 7-0 run, and they get their second win on the season. And much love for the former Sooner, Coach Deanna Jackson-Durrett, coming back to Norman as a head coach. And Aaliyah Chavez, what a game for her, Steffi.
Yeah, that freshman was absolutely sensational. I was ready to see what the #1 recruit looked like in person, and she was everything that she was built up to and more. And her efficiency, I was really impressed. I know this game's going to go a long way for her.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a sigh of relief for her. Just
absolutely.
Good game.
Able to relax and take a breather. That is going to do it for us. For Steffi Sorensen and our entire crew, this is Crystal Blank saying so long from Norman, Oklahoma. Sooners get the win. Let's send it to Alyssa Ling in the studio.